Get me started. Tell me.
Go for it, girl. Talk about it.
You know, it's like pros and cons. It's people are gonna talk shit. They're going to, and there's no way around it. I understand that there's a lot of stuff that's said out there that you're just like, wow, you're 13 years old. You should not be saying that ever.
Or the 50-year-olds that come in,
Huh?
or the 50-year-old men that have their
I know.
wife in the other room, and they're like, she's not paying attention. Now I can talk about my penis.
Yeah, no kidding. It happens. It happens all the time. But I feel like a lifelong ban, all you're doing is limiting your amount of consumers.
I think maybe like if they could make it so you couldn't have voice chat and do a temporary ban,
Yeah.
and then just extend the temporary ban, but not so much a lifelong ban. I don't know if they could do that, but just mute them.
Yeah, it should be a warning, and then
It's probably violating a lot of the code of conduct through Xbox Live. But why is it their problem to take care of? Why can't the individual just mute the person? Right? If they find it offensive, if it's out of control, why is it that they're feeling as a company that they need to take control of the situation? I don't have a problem. You come and fucking shit in the lobby and right away. That's just how it's gonna be. But then that's everyone else's problem. If they want to listen to him banter on and think he's really, really funny or she's really, really funny, talking a bunch of shit, you know, good for them. But I don't have a problem muting people.
you know what? Though I think it's some people go so far as when they bring in race and they bring in, and I mean, we've sat in lobbies with I'm like, is there a clan meeting? KKK? Do you have your hood on while you're playing? Because it's just been that racist.
Yeah.
Like, you know damn well you'd never say that to a black person, but here you are calling us the N-word because, you feel so tough, you're online and we can't see you. So I think it's taking away some of their power.
Yeah. Well, I think it's also important because, I live in California. I grew up in California. And where I grew up, I really didn't see a ton of racism. I saw a lot of violence. And there was a lot of racism, but I never really understood how serious it was until I came back on Xbox Live. I was like, whoa, you actually say this?
Yeah.
And I was like, no, this is not okay.
I took a long break from Xbox Live and did like Minecraft and stuff on the PC, and when we got in Skypes and Ventrilos, it was never racist. When I came back for Modern Warfare 3, it was horrible. I was just muting every enemy teammate. And now Black Ops 2, you have the thing where you could go over and mute everyone that isn't in your party, which I really like that. So I don't got to go through and mute them individually. So I can just immediately just take care of those people talking like that.
It's a problem, and it's becoming worse. People are becoming bolder and meaner because there's anonymity. There's racial slurs and there's gender bias and I really don't understand this whole, this map is gay. Really? Did you see this map with another map having sex? How is a map gay?
Well, how do you get smaller maps?
Like when they fuck themselves to death? that's what
I heard Nuketown and Yemen were together.
There you go.
Oh, well.
Let them finish. It'll be this big. It's good. I mean, thank you. We love it. Amen. But it's, we say, oh, it's these kids, but no, these sound like adults talking shit, And it's like,
oh, yeah.
I don't know if you guys are familiar with Reddit.
Yep.
They had this moderator, and God, he would start the worst forums. He, had one about taking pictures of underage girls. He had another one of fucking mothers. I mean, just weird out there stuff that makes you think, he's not right in the head. So he would he had hundreds of these. So they finally outed him who he was, because that was a big secret. Nobody knew. And I think it was it The Examiner? I don't remember who outed him, but they figured out who he was, and then he backtracked, and then Reddit backtracked a bit. So once once the wizard was discovered, and we saw he wasn't big and bad, he lost power.
Became this small.
Exactly. And I think that's what they're trying to do with people to, threaten them. You're going to get a life ban. And, for some, that's not going to work. They're going to test it. I want to see if you're really going to ban me. You're not going to ban me. And so, I don't know. You never know who's in your lobby. There could be a moderator, or I guess they call them ambassadors. They could be in your lobby and hear you say something, and it could be the first time you've ever said anything like that, and you can get lifetime ban. So
it's interesting. Are people really going to take the time to collect the evidence that someone is?
Yeah, that's what they've been doing. They've been doing that. That's when you do the reports and stuff. When you report someone, there's someone on the other end looking to see, who got reported and why, and how many times have they been reported and for what.
I might get banned then soon. I get reported a lot daily for auto aim. I don't do it.
But that's your gameplay, not your language.
Yeah.
Well, they'll accuse them of modding.
Yeah, and I'll go red Microsoft. I live close. I'll let them scan my whole hard drive and everything. I don't care. They can tag my hard drive and monitor it. Okay.
That's another thing. Sore losers. God, this nation is turning into a bunch of crybabies.
So who makes the rules, though? I mean, who?
6 wizards in an office.
And then once you start, where do you stop? I mean, does saying, I guess it's kind of like the freedom of speech. Once you start getting your speech taken away, where does it stop then? It's. I understand the premise, but
we need to stop pretending that freedom of speech is free. You can't yell fire in a theater.
Well, you're right.
So there are things you cannot do. You can't bear false witness legally. So we need to stop with this. And I think people take the freedom of speech thing as entitlement. I'm an American. I can say whatever the hell I want. Fuck you. And if you say it to me, then it's a big fight. We need to be a little more conscious of what we say to each other. And I think that's the big problem, is that we say things that we don't want to hear.
I'll counter with this, though, and we've all played together, and I will admit I am a very rambunctious shit talker, and I go to very, very dark places, and everybody laughs like everybody is now. Suppose one of these ambassadors come in while I'm playing with you, Jelly, and I'm like, oh, you bitch. Next thing I know, I'm banned.
Yeah, it could be. That's why I think they shouldn't do a lifetime ban. Take baby steps,
Yeah, do slow ban, and then also do warnings. I don't think they should immediately ban.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like a 2-day sort of ban. It's not an immediate perma ban.
Yeah, they'll do 48 hours. They have 48 hours, 2 week, 3 month, 90
as
days,
far as
and then
Halo,
lifetime.
it's a lifetime ban, and there's no going back. Halo is not. And there's a website I follow, the Mary Sue, and they've reached out to 343 and Microsoft and asked them, is it going to be this drastic? And they're like, yeah. So it's going to be interesting, because out of Halo came a lot of choice language that people have brought over to Black Ops, and and Gears too. Gears is another one. Isn't that where the whole you got raped comment started?
Yeah, with the chainsaws that come up and get you from the behind. Backdoor Bandit came from too.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see if how many people do get a lifetime ban. Is there going to be an uproar, or are people just going to call bullshit and see what happens? All right, so I don't know. Do you guys want to talk about anything else, or do we cover anything?
Necro, do you know about the selectable fire where you can turn it like to single shot or auto, full auto?
Yes, I have that on my M27. It's certain assault rifles have a trigger that you can make it from full auto to 3-round burst. You gotta hit left on your D-pad, but the problem is when you spawn in, the biggest issue I have, and I'm not using anymore, is when you spawn in, you'll randomly either be in full auto or 3-round burst. It isn't consistent. So every time I have to look up in the air and shoot up to figure out which one I'm in.
because I started playing the campaign and I was shooting I think it was the FAL, and I noticed I could switch my fire, and the full auto was nice, but I'm a single fire guy.
I'm liking it because you need to have 3-round bursts in the single shot. That's what I did way back in first Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 4. I started to force myself to use single shot and 3-round burst to get that accuracy, because like this game, you have to have it or you will lose every drop on the person. You got to aim for that middle chest, because I've tried in this game to aim for the head. Always kicks up to the left or way down to the right, and I always fail. It's just the hit markers are horrible when it's in that aspect. And you need to do the single fire 3-round burst if you're having troubles hitting him. Like at Benefy today, I got him to slow down and use the FAL, and he's doing a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
I love the FAL. I love the FAL in Black Ops. That was my favorite gun. I don't know what it was, but I'm definitely more of a spot shooter, so I'm really excited to see what these changes are that you're talking about, because I haven't played yet. Maybe I'll get on tonight. I really should go to bed at some point, but now that I have 2 games, I'm sort of torn.
Another Minecraft night.
Changing the subject a little, I want to kind of get into this before it becomes super old news. It's kind of old news. A lot of video games are becoming movies.